Hello, you are listening to Between Sets. This is Fuzz.
No, Mike.
And we are very snotty. I can't barely hear anything.
Yeah, I mean, so earlier in the week we had our PT session. I was having to stand on your right-hand side.
I can't even remember now. It seems like so long ago.
Yeah. So at some point in the past 2 or 3 days, I picked up whatever this is. I don't know if it's what you've got.
I'm sorry. I tried to stay away from you. I don't know.
I feel like you were coughing more, whereas for me, it's like someone's just turned a tap on, and it's endless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive, really, how much snot actually comes out of your nose.
It's crazy. It's unbelievable.
Like, where does it even start from?
Do not know. Like, I feel like I'm dehydrating myself. Just what you got there?
Sorry, I'm drinking just to try and stay awake, mate. I won't lie.
Fair. Yeah.
I've had 2 naps today.
Wow.
I'm gonna feel like I'm hyphenating.
Yeah.
So on Fridays I have my son, and I just could not stay awake. I felt really bad. He's watched so much TV today just because I kept falling asleep watching Chicken Run 2.
I mean, fair. Like, I'm sure he doesn't mind that though, you know.
Yeah. Well, he just won't learn how to talk anytime soon because he'll be too busy watching TV.
Or more disturbingly, might like one of the chickens from Chicken Run, a bit northern like. I don't want to be a pie.
yeah, something like that. That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Oh God! So how's this week been for you?
I don't know if I should have been going to the gym. Still,
yeah,
I won't lie, but I just didn't want to lose a whole week, especially before Christmas.
Yeah,
but I'm just absolutely exhausted from it.
Yeah,
how about you?
Fair. Yeah, similar in a weird sort of way. So I think I started getting a bit of a sore throat Tuesday. It was worse Wednesday when we were doing boot camp, but obviously I was shouting a fair amount, so that didn't help. Where are we today? Friday. Yesterday I kind of carried on as normal, and then today I've cancelled people. I've moved them into next week, which I very rarely do. I hate doing it, but
oh no, let down.
Equally, I don't want to make people ill, so you know.
This is it. Yeah, apologies. I probably should have given you the heads up. I'm hoping this isn't from me. My nose isn't running; it's just blocked, and so is my ears.
Wait till you get to my stage. It's just endless.
Anyway, so today's episode, we are interviewing the famous Georgie Lou. Is that how you would say Georgie? Georgie Lou? So you probably know her more than I do.
I don't know how well you know her. Do you know what I mean?
So basically, I don't even know her. So I just bumped into her once or twice, trying to avoid her phone being on the tripod.
Okay,
and then we just got talking for like half a minute. And then she just seems to be tagged in everything that Snap Fitness post on Instagram. So I was like, fair dues, let's follow her journey. And then all of a sudden I find out that she's like, takes us really seriously. She works fucking hard.
Yeah, so I've had a fair few conversations with her. Obviously, people like to talk to me about various things, bodybuilding and otherwise. But yeah, definitely interesting. I think I know more about the type of thing that she's going into more than you would just based on background. So I'd be interested to see what your take is on it.
Yeah, I think my questions that I want to ask are more based around like her mental health side of it and mindset and what sparked this journey. Because I didn't even know. Like, so I asked for some photos to post to promote this podcast, and there's a big weight loss. When I say big weight loss, it's quite a weight loss journey for her.
Yeah.
So there's obviously some sort of spark that happened, very similar to me in a way when I had my back injury and gained a load of weight. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to just kind of. And it's our first. Well, I say it's our first. It's our second guest, but it's our first female guest on the show. So interesting,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, she lost a lot of weight initially. I know that. She doesn't post a huge amount of photos about it, which I both do and I don't like because on the one hand I think you should be kind of proud of it, but equally it's not like her sole identity. Like it's not like you know how some people have a thing and that's defines them. Whereas actually it's just kind of something that she's done and now she's taking it a step further and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting from my side of it because I don't know anything really.
How much do you know about bodybuilding in general? Because I know you love Arnie, but how much do you know about that side of things?
Literally just Arnold Schwarzenegger, mate. I don't really know much about the competitive side of it, but I think like I don't really like saying the word, but people still taking steroids nowadays.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very, very commonplace. I think essentially, if you want to be a competitive bodybuilder at a high level, it's assumed that everyone is on. The thing that I think would surprise a lot of people is how many just general gym goers are using steroids, and at crazy amounts as well. I will add that.
What
Like,
like I don't
go
know
on.
if you're an expert, but what are like I would never take. I've never touched a drug, despite not being able to talk. Never touched a drug in my life. So I would never touch steroids. But what
Yeah.
are the biggest like negatives of taking such a drug?
Ooh, so I would say it's not necessarily any. I'll phrase this correctly. It's isn't necessarily any one particular drug. So you've got to understand that like anabolic steroids, they're all based on testosterone, which both men and women have in our bodies, right? And they are chemically modified to produce versions of this same steroid. Testosterone it, it's a hormone, but for all intents and purposes, call it a steroid, right? Um, so it's modified to have different effects. Now, what those effects are would dictate why someone would want to use these certain things. So the most common by far is testosterone, because it's safe. Um, the problem people have with testosterone and other steroids is the amount. So it's not necessarily the drug; it's the amount of that drug that they are using to get desired effects. So you get generic, like average, middle of the road person, average genetics going into a gym, knows how to train, reasonable nutrition, wants to look like a bodybuilder. They start using some steroids. They don't get the results that they thought they would. They're not looking like they're about to step on stage. So their solution, rather than improving their training, improving their nutrition to get the most out of that, is to take more. So the strange thing is, based on genetics, you'll have people just walking around in the gym taking more steroids in terms of dosage than what some competitive bodybuilders will do. The difference is the bodybuilders have got the genetics to implement and utilize those drugs correctly, and more so because they have more of a natural ability to build muscle.
Yeah.
You can't change it. It's a genetic component that can't be altered, essentially. I'll give you a good example, actually. So, if you want to see how genetics plays a role, I don't know if you saw it. There was a post that was coming out early this week. Are you familiar with Brock Lesnar? So he's big in WWE, uh, which I know is fake and all this kind of stuff. But he transitioned to UFC, and in the brief stint that he was in the UFC, he became heavyweight champion. He just demolished people. But the interesting part about it is his daughter is now in high school, I believe, and she's breaking shot put records. And
Wow.
there's a picture of them side by side. It's worth having a little
I think
a
I've
look
heard of
into it.
him. I
But
think I've heard of her actually. Yeah, I saw that in the news the other day.
I mean, the word man mountain is basically Brock Lesnar, and yeah, I mean, in terms of athleticism, his daughter will be a phenomenon. You can see it already.
It's almost like how evolution works, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly that. So, in terms of like natural selection, if being more athletic means you have more children and they inherit those athletic genes and therefore are more likely to survive, natural selection taking place, you're more likely to have your genes passed on and survive into future generations. Next couple of generations, if it hasn't started already, we are going in reverse. And you can see this in some studies where, testosterone is actually studied relatively highly because of its effects on the human body. And testosterone in men is significantly dropping as generations go on, either through increased use of plastics, soy, whatever it happens to be. But those levels are dropping by generation. Now, it's either, well, I mean, it's a lot of different things, really. It just means that that's not being selected for. So
What
it's
studies do you read, man? You must just read all the time. You're so
yeah,
knowledgeable about
I
all
mean,
this.
I don't know. I watch, I suppose it's who I follow and stuff like this because
Yeah.
I see a lot of studies presented daily, essentially.
I have to interrupt you.
Go
Why?
ahead.
Why is your background different? Are you in bed?
No, I'm on the sofa. I couldn't bring
Oh,
myself
okay.
to migrate, so I'm here today.
You're
I actually
hibernating on
don't
the
mind it.
sofa,
I'm quite comfortable. I've got quite a relaxed vibe at the moment.
just chilling. It feels like I'm interviewing you. Like you feel like I'm Jonathan Ross, and you're just on the sofa.
Yeah. Welcome to my TED Talk.
My first question is: are you Christmassy-fied yet? Is
Yes,
that a
yes,
word?
we are.
Christmassy vibe? Because it's quite hard to say.
Um,
I would say no, it's not a word. But are you feeling it? Are you feeling in the Christmas spirit yet?
Currently, uh, I don't know. It's because I'm ill, I guess. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, decorations are up. Wrapping is all done. Shopping's all done. So
Oh, boom.
yeah, I think by next Friday I'll be in the Christmas mood. So it's not too early either. You know, you can kind of look forward
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Like,
What
it's
about
when
you?
they announce the Christmas number one, it's like, then. Like, you have to get drunk on Bailey's
No,
then.
I have no idea who the contenders are for Christmas number one. I'm
At
so
least
far
it'll
removed from
be
it.
more obvious. No, sorry, less obvious who's going to win. Because every year for the last 5 years has been Lad Baby. And he hasn't got one this year. Thank God.
Wasn't there something to do with sausage rolls or something?
Yeah, all of them, yeah. I'm
Right.
assuming
Okay.
you don't know who he is, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
obsessed with sausage rolls. He's even got books about sausage rolls. But it's just kind of like my dream. Like imagine just being successful, like, and your only content is your favorite food. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
we
start
can
writing
change
books
this if you
about
like. We can change this format to I don't know what Jaffa cakes. Like, I'm all for it.
Jaffa cakes. Is that your favorite food? That was your go-to.
I mean, the first thing on top of my like, I can eat a lot of Jaffa cake. I don't think I've ever eaten just one or two Jaffa cakes. It's always a tube or a whole pack or like like.
They still do tubes, do they? Remember when I was at school and they used to have like these little like plastic cartons with like 4 or 5 mini ones in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you
I
remember
used to have
them?
like
Do
two or
they
three of
still do
those.
them?
I assume so. No, well, I've upgraded now, so I'm up to boxes and like the full length
Oh right,
tubes,
yeah. Now
basically.
you're a man, you can have the bigger ones.
The problem is, there's no one telling me not to.
That is the issue.
How was um, how was your eating challenge?
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't even. Oh yeah, I can't remember how it went now. I've just been so ill. The thing is, right? Wait. Before I tell you guys how it went, right? I woke up Saturday morning and that was when my ears were blocked. My throat was quite dry, and I just have to constantly drink water just to moisten my throat. But I was kind of taking it semi seriously. I think I mentioned this last week,
Hmm.
where like I basically didn't eat anything for like what 12, 14 hours before the challenge.
Yeah.
But we got there, we sat down, and she was like, "Well, what sauces would you like on your wings?" And I was like, just a hot sauce. Like I've never had wings without a hot sauce." And she was like, "Well, we only do one hot sauce." I was like, "That's fine, just whatever, just as long as it's a hot sauce." There's no way I'm having like just normal wings or barbecue wings. I don't know. Anyway, so I ordered 60 chicken wings with hot sauce on. Then I
It's a
went to the
lot, man.
toilet. And maybe it was a nervous wee. Anyway, the kitchen was right next to the men's toilet, and went to the urinal, and I could just overhear the chefs laughing. I'm like, "What the hell is that funny?" And all I could hear was, "This stupid bloke has ordered 60 wings with chili sauce. There's no way he's completing that in 19 minutes." And I'm like, "Well, that's a regret then." I was just like, "Well, this ain't happening." But
Just
then
openly
most of
mocking
me,
you.
you know me, all I could think about was, I want to prove them wrong. And I went in on this challenge so fucking hard. I must have eaten at least 20 to 30 in the first 5 minutes of the challenge, right? So almost half of them gone because I was going through them like anything. But
Yeah,
then my
yeah.
body just stopped. So I was just swallowing the chicken whole. So I would just grab chicken from the bone and just swallow it whole without even chewing it. Because I was starving, to be fair. But then, yeah, 5, 6 minutes in, my body just did not want to swallow anything anymore. No matter how much I
Yeah.
was chewing it and chewing it, it just wasn't going down. So then I found myself like chewing it to a point and then downing it with some water, like a
Just
protein pill as
downing
such.
chicken.
Yeah. So I was about 30 down at this point, and then I was just really struggling. And I was like, what, 13 minutes in? So I had 5 minutes left to complete like over half almost, around half the wings. I'm like, this just ain't happening.
Yeah.
So the last 5 minutes, I knew I wasn't going to make it, so I was just enjoying the wings. And I had 20 left at the end at 19 minutes. Yeah, so I was a letdown, but no one's ever tried it with chili sauce before, so
Yeah.
I'll take
Do
that away as an
you
achievement.
do you feel like the sauce actually impacted
Oh, 100
how
percent,
many of you? Yeah. Was it
one
hot, hot?
hundred percent. It wasn't hot, hot. No,
Okay.
no, no. But obviously, having 60 wings,
Yeah.
like I think anything a pepperami would be hot if you had 60 pepperami's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah, get that.
it was quite hot at the end of it. And I left like 15 at the end of it. I was like, I just don't want to see a chicken wing again, mate. I was so. But then I got home and I was eating ice cream and crisps and stuff. Like I was still
Yeah.
hungry. I think it was just the. I think what most people do is they select like 20 of different sauces. So 20 barbecue,
Okay.
20 like plain, or 20. They would do like honey or garlic, or I don't know. It was just, but just
Yeah.
I've never had a chicken wing without chili sauce on. I think it's a bit weird, but
I
I
don't
don't
know. I
know.
think barbecue wings can be fine. Like you love hot sauce though.
I love hot sauce. I have hot sauce on
You have
anything.
hot
Like
sauce
even today,
everything. Yeah.
we had a roast today, and I put hot sauce on the chicken. That's how weird I am, I
Oh,
guess.
that's. I mean, mm, I hate that less than I hate people who put ketchup on a roast. Like
Yeah,
ketchup just
ketchup on a
does not
roast. That's
belong.
not right. No, 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 that's not right.
No. But you've also got the bomb hot sauce as well, don't you?
So I've got the bomb, but the bomb is not hot sauce. The bomb is just an utter
Just
like.
pain.
It's just it doesn't taste nice whatsoever. Like
Yeah.
if anyone is dipping their chips or anything in the bomb
Yeah.
and is enjoying it, they need to go to prison. There's something wrong with them. Like it's not right. It tastes like absolute dog shit, and it burns for hours, both ways.
Yeah. I can believe it.
It's
I mean,
horrible.
I've seen some of the like the what's the YouTube channel called?
Hot
First We Feast,
ones.
is it? Hot
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. First feast. Yeah,
Yeah. I've seen a lot of the videos and even people that handle hot food particularly well, they just get ruined by the
it
time they
is
get to it.
hilarious. It's one hell of a
I,
concept as well.
yeah, it's great. I mean, I don't mind hot food, but I have a limit. So like, I need to still be able to enjoy the food. If it's hot for the sake of being hot, nah,
Yeah, this is
not
what I'm
really
saying
for
about
me.
the bomb. The bomb is just stupid, and
Yeah.
it's like a foul. If you're going to get a foul from the Indian, you're not going to enjoy
Well,
that. You're just doing it because you're trying to overcompensate that you got a small dick. Sorry, but it's
yeah. I
true.
mean, we were drunk in a restaurant at one point, and me and some friends, and we were planning on ordering them because we'd had a fair few drinks at this point, and he quite rightfully turned out and said, "Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll bring you out a little pot of the sauce. You can try that first." Because we were going in there quite a lot, and I had a teaspoon of this sauce. It ruined the rest of my night.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
it would.
sobered up like that, and it was horrendous. It was awful.
It is
Like it was
worse as well
breathing
when
fire.
you've got alcohol in your system. I think things are more spicy. You approach it with more confidence. That's probably why. That's got to
Some
be a
people just
genetic
don't.
thing as well, doesn't it? Really, like how you deal with
Yeah,
certain foods.
yeah. I know
But
there's certain conditions you can get which makes you much more susceptible to heat, like spice as well. Have you ever seen anyone with it's called a geographic tongue?
a geographic tongue.
It's basically just like loads of like craters and lines on their tongue. But because of that, the spice, like the casein for casein? No, it'll come to me. The spice it basically like seeps into their tongue and just saturates their taste buds.
Oh,
It wrecks people. Um,
but then at the same time, are things much tastier for them then? So they'll be quite good food critics.
yes. So on that note, so there's. Have you ever seen the Try Guys on YouTube?
No.
One of the guys on there, Keith, he has a geographic tongue. Spicy food just messes him up, like
Yeah.
even like mild stuff, basically. And yet, because of that, fattier foods taste incredible to him. So then it's no, he's brought out his own brand of like chicken sauce, basically. You probably love it.
Right. We will introduce Georgie. Mike, do you want to do this? Because I think you know her more than I do.
Sure. So this is. Do you prefer Georgie or Georgina? Whichever you prefer.
Either or, whatever one.
Well, I know you as Georgie, but so Georgie, we all go to the same gym essentially. How you doing? You all
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Good.
Bit weird, obviously I'm not in the gym at the minute, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, so I went in for a breast augmentation. It would be 3 weeks on Monday. And that was simply just because of weight loss. It just got to the point where I was like, I'm not happy now. So yeah, I finally took the plunge, but that's 6 weeks off of training at all.
Yeah.
And then I've got another 6 weeks after that. I'm not allowed to do any upper. So it's an absolute nightmare at the minute. It's horrible.
So what is it what is it you're currently doing? Why are you in the like an amazing shape? Why do you look like the
Uh,
Terminator?
it doesn't feel it at the minute. I feel quite fluffy. It's mad what 3 weeks off will do for you. But But yeah, no, I started just losing the weight initially, and then a few people had kind of said to me, was I looking to compete? And I'd said no, actually. It wasn't something that was ever on my radar. And the more and more I lost weight, the more and more I thought, oh, possibly, maybe I can do it. That's when I really went into the actual weight training side of things rather than the cardio side. And yeah, I've just been building from there. So I'm looking to compete either in, it was going to be May, but because I've done this breast augmentation and I've got to take the time off, I'm aiming for June or July now. So yeah, it's just setting the post and then aiming for it.
Is this your first one? Is it your first competition?
Will be my first one, yeah.
And how long have you been like training for this?
For the actual competition
Yeah.
itself. So I started with my coach in January.
Oh wow.
So I would say most of my progress has been from January. Initially, it was weight loss, but actual muscle mass, I wouldn't say I developed much until this year.
Oh wow. So what was you doing
I wasn't
before?
eating right. I wasn't eating. So I was training a hell of a lot more. Yeah, more than what I am now. But I just wasn't eating. I was eating maybe a chunk of malt loaf a day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, how I ended up doing anything, I don't know. But I was training a good 2 to 3 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And then just eating that.
And I was literally, yeah, I'd rip out, all the girls laugh and they call me Soreen. Because I've constantly used to have a chunk of malt loaf in my bag, and if I got hungry, I'd just rip a bit off, and that's what I would eat all day. So I'd probably eat half of a family size loaf a day. That was my intake.
What's the protein in that?
None.
Nothing.
None at all.
It's weird when I look back now. Obviously I lost all the weight. I came from a good 20 stone. Managed to get myself down to about 13 doing that over 2 years.
Wow.
But I was so depleted. It was bad. I had hair loss. My hormones were all over the place. I looked flat. I thought I looked okay at the time, but now looking back, I was I wasn't good at all.
Because of the diet?
Yeah.
Oh, so you wouldn't recommend it then, is what I'm saying?
No.
No,
100% not. It got me to where I needed to be, but it did. No.
That's the exact conversation we were just having before you came on. You can lose weight on basically any diet. You can lose weight eating McDonald's if you want to. It doesn't mean it's going to be healthy or good for you in any way, shape, or form. You know, in the same way you can gain weight, but it's not necessarily going to be muscle. You know, there's a lot that plays into it.
Not. No, 100% not. I wouldn't recommend it. I wasn't well within myself, even down to the training that I was doing. I was going home and I was sleeping. I was constantly aggravated. I wasn't in a good state, but I think you hit that point of you're so desperate to just lose the weight, you don't care how you're going to do it. So a deficit's a deficit, isn't it?
How long was this going on for?
I'd say nearly 2 years. So I've been training all in all for about 3 years now.
So I mean the Soreen diet.
About 2 years.
2 years. Sorry. What?
Yeah. But I was doing the weighted classes. I wasn't doing. I wasn't down in the actual gym. I was too scared to go in there. So I was doing 2 classes a week.
Oh wow.
And then I was doing boxing in the evenings as well.
So you've really turned around now, then.
Oh yeah, completely different mindset.
Too scared to go to the gym, and now when you walk into the gym, everyone knows you're there, like Terminator. And then you got like a massive phone with a tripod as well. So it's just like, if you don't know I'm here, now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, it has got to the point where it's not. It's lovely. The gym environment's the best place.
Yeah.
I was so scared of it, but honestly, the gym community is the best thing I've ever found. Genuinely.
Yeah.
They're some of the best people you'll ever meet, but I think going into it, you think they're going to be stuck up, they're going to be this, they're going to be that, because they're all muscly and they all look great, so they must be really horrible people. But you'll find they're some of the most genuine, down to earth.
Then you turn into them.
People. Yeah. No, they're lovely, because everyone that's in the gym is working through something ultimately. No one's there because they're happy. Obviously they enjoy what they're doing, but everyone's got a backstory, and I think the more you speak, the more you find out.
That's why I'm interviewing you, I guess, isn't it? So shall we start from the beginning now, Mike? You got any more questions though about?
No, I mean, I think we can go into some more detail about as we go through kind of your expectations about like going into competitions, all this kind of stuff. But I think we'll get there. So if we'll backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, the way that we want to interview our guests is kind of like start from the very beginning. When you started exercising for the first time, when you found the passion for some sort of sport, was you ever into sport at school?
Yeah, so I was Kent champion rower for about 4 years in school. Did really, really well.
How did you even get
unbeatable.
into
that? I started in school. Pretty much any sport that was there, I did. I played.
That's a
basketball
posh school. If you've got boats.
No, the boats weren't at school.
I was going to say.
No, it started as they were like indoor rowing machines when I first started. So we'd just go to competitions and things. There was a Paralympic one where they came and watched us, and basically they'd scouted to see whether I'd be interested in the 2012 Olympics at the time.
I think you say Paralympics there. That would have been
no Paralympics. No, he was one of the people from it, and then they'd put the teacher through to say for me to do it.
You have to chop off a limb, but you can do Paralympics if you want to.
No, not Paralympics. Normal Olympics.
I'm joking. Yeah. What did you say to that then?
I didn't want to. Because the irony was, at the time, I said I didn't want my life to be taken over by just training all the time.
Which is a full circle moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't have done it any more backwards if I tried.
So what was the next step for you then? Or did you just continue that as a hobby?
Yeah, so I did. I joined a local club. I used to row on the weekends. Did a few competitions. I had a single sculling boat up Barton's Point at one point. I just kind of did it as a hobby, and then I was into drinking and clubbing and lost all passion for anything active.
What age was this? About 18?
Would have been about 16.
God. Start early, eh?
Young around here.
Got to be done. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I looked so old when I was like 14, and I was 6'1" when I was 12. So I was just like, getting
you got
into
away
everything.
with it then.
Yeah. So did you go to university or anything?
No. I finished school, and as soon as I left school, I fell pregnant with my first child.
Oh wow.
And then 18 months later, I had my second.
You like to get things done, don't you? Jesus.
No, I just thought if you're going to do it,
yeah, go all in.
Get it in one. They're older now. So my daughter's going to be 11 in January, and my son's just turned 9. So
oh, nice.
They're at
so
a
how
nice
old are you? Can I ask?
I've just turned 29.
Oh wow, there's a big birthday for you next year then.
I know. It's great. That's why I want to get the competition done, so I can have my first one before I'm 30.
It's amazing how you've been able to juggle that mum life and competitive bodybuilding almost.
It has its moments. Don't get me wrong. It has its moments, but I'm quite lucky. My kids they're very good kids. They're more like my mates. They're very supportive. They can't wait for me to compete. They both ask if I can train them as they get older as well. So it's not, it's not that sort of thing. No, that'd be good. I can start them young.
100%.
So, what do you do for a living? You're a nurse. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In general practice, yeah.
How did you get into that?
So I used to do dementia and end of life care. Did that for years and years while the kids were younger. Worked myself up to senior and did my open uni for my level 3. And then trying to get into the NHS was a nightmare. So I took a job in the doctor's surgery in reception. And I worked reception for 2 years until a position opened up. And then that was mine. So I've been doing that for nearly 5 years now.
Oh, wow. So it was actually a goal that you were striving towards and you achieved. That's amazing.
Yeah. No, I got there in the end. So we're going to get the competition out of the way, and then I'm looking to do my nursing associates, so I'll be able to prescribe and things like that.
Oh,
so
nice.
There's more plans there, but it's juggling the two. What one am I going to focus on at the minute?
If we need drugs, Mike, we need to go now.
If you need drugs.
Noted.
So I keep asking lots of questions, Mike. I'll shut up.
No, you're fine. So we're moving more towards like the actual competition itself now. So you've got a little bit more recovery time to get under your belt.
Yeah.
So that's going to put you at what? Back into training the new year, essentially, and then upper body from February, that sort of region?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm planning to go back in next week and just start my cardio.
Yep.
I'm allowed to start cardio as of next week, so I'll do that for 3 weeks, and then I can start legs. But the problem I've got is I'm not allowed to engage my chest at all, so I can't do my usual sets. So I can't do the RDLs. I'm not doing
Yeah.
my hip thrusts. Nothing like anything plate really. I can't pick it up.
Yeah. So you're machine bound essentially, on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even
Okay.
that, I went in the other day and tried doing pin loaded, and it's amazing how much you engage your chest even just pulling the pins out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You don't realise until you can't use something how much you do use it.
Yeah.
I got stuck in the leg press as well.
Yeah. Well, if you can get somebody else to load it up for you, I suppose, then
Yeah, just to muddle around it, but there's always a way in there.
So you're looking at competing July, I think you said?
Yeah, June or July. NPC have just released the dates.
Yep.
So I'm looking at either the I don't know what way round it is. It's either the 20th of June or the 15th of July.
Okay.
Or
And
it might be the
so
opposite way round.
you're looking, is it like a standard 14-week prep for that?
So we're looking to do a 16-week prep.
Okay. A little bit slower. Yeah, I think that's a good idea,
A
to be
little
fair.
bit, yeah. Yeah, we're just going to take our time with it, which is why I'm looking to push it back.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want to do is go in and push myself too fast because I'm rushing and then hurt myself.
Yeah, for
which I
sure.
will do.
So to give listeners and probably Fuzz a bit of an idea as well. So prep is you're preparing for the competition. You're getting progressively leaner till you want to be stage ready.
So is that a lot of Malt
Stereotypically,
loaf, I guess? Is it a lot of Soreens? Is that what it is?
There's no
None.
Soreen in my plan, no.
Unfortunately.
Sadly.
So generally anywhere between 10 and sort of 15 weeks. You can go longer than that. And for your first competition, I think it's generally quite a good idea just because you don't know where you can lose body fat from as you're getting that lean. So some people will hold excess body fat around their glutes or the hamstrings, especially those, for ladies especially, you want to be able to show the glute ham tie-in. So you don't know until you go through that first prep, one, how long you're going to need, and two, how you're going to respond. So your training's going
How
to
your
take a
body's
hit.
responding.
Yeah, exactly.
We did a 7-week cut recently. I dropped from 83 kilograms to 71 in 7 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
I was losing between 1 and 2 kilograms a week, sitting at around about my calories was 1950 a day. So still eating 5 times a day. Little and often. Absolutely fine on the diet, and my body responded so fast.
Hunger
so
levels?
the plan before, fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine.
That's good.
I was absolutely fine. She did put it up in the end because I was getting too lean. We weren't trying to do that. We're still trying to build. But I don't know if you're aware, obviously with bikini, we don't ever bulk. So the idea was to maintain that until I start prep. However, I've had this operation done. So I've had a couple of weeks where my food's been a bit squiff. Weight stayed the same, but obviously conditioning isn't the same. I'm not training, and I've had the odd slip up. But
it's a good time to do it though during Christmas. Surely you might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, it's the worst time.
I have to ask though, have you had a Malt loaf ever since your diet? I bet you're sick of them, aren't you?
I actually did have a Malt loaf. Is still my favourite.
Oh, is it?
If someone,
what?
Yeah.
I would not want to see a single Soreen in the house.
It's also just not that nice.
They're gorgeous. They are gorgeous, to be fair. They do loads of different flavours now as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not a fan.
No.
Not a fan of the flavours.
No, so my son's 2, and he's obsessed with it. Loads of different flavours, and I'll always take a taste.
So I've got loads in common.
You got to do a bit of a test bite, haven't you, as a parent? Make sure it's not poisonous.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. No, I'm feral with it. I just get the family loaf and just rip it off. I don't toast it or butter it or anything. I'm just gonna eat it.
In the supermarket as well. You're still in the supermarket at this point. Just
starving.
Yeah. The thing is, what's funny is that no one would even question you.
No one would. No.
Yeah.
No, that's normal. Perfectly normal.
Oh, don't.
So you said you don't bulk for bikini?
No.
Okay. What's the logic behind that?
So you sit at maintenance so that you're getting enough calories to build, but you are not getting so much that you would have more to cut back. So it just makes prep easier. And obviously sitting at maintenance, that in itself is taxing. So it's already keeping you in that mindset of that you can't release the reins, if that makes sense. You're structured all the time.
So is this on the basis that, I don't know if this is personalized for you specifically, where you don't necessarily need to build more muscle for that level of competition?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I'd ask that is because, like, for the majority of people sitting at maintenance, you're not likely to accrue much muscle tissue. Like, that's why we would go into the surplus, essentially.
Into a
So I
bulk.
suppose if
Yeah.
you're already in a position where you have enough muscle definition for that category, then
Yeah.
I suppose that would make some sense.
Yeah. So in general, in bikini they generally don't do a full on like dirty bulk. It's not the same thing. But I think, yeah, like you're saying, you don't need the amount of muscle mass that you would need for maybe another category.
Yeah.
I'm already, with the muscle mass I've got, teetering on the edge of going past my category.
Yeah. So the category up would be
yeah.
Fitness, is it?
Yeah, I believe it's bikini trained.
Okay.
Bikini
Right.
trained. Or the other one would be figure.
Okay.
Which I don't want to do.
Too big.
Simply because you have to get quite big. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'd be okay maybe in a first timers, but to be competitive in it, I would have to get quite big, and I wouldn't want that personally day to day for me.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And I think that's an important thing to address as well. Like, I feel like a lot of people in general, not just girls, will go to a coach and kind of be pushed a certain way. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
actually, I think you need to be
Yeah.
certain what way you want to go yourself first, and then
Yeah.
go from there.
Yeah, 100%. It ultimately, you're the person that's got to do it, and you're the person that's got to live that lifestyle. And it's not just for a competition. Your day to day, like even with the size I am, obviously at the moment I'm flat, so I look quite small anyway. But you chuck on a dress with the delts the size mine are when I've just finished going to the gym, already at the size I am.
Yeah.
If I was to go into another one, I'd feel uncomfortable in who I was. So you've got to be true to yourself, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's that aspect is slightly different. Like, men are very much just like, I'll just get as big as humanly possible, they don't really
Yeah,
care.
there's no
Whereas
limit.
ladies, you kind of want to maintain some level of like femininity as well, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, which is the main thing, obviously, in bikini.
Yeah.
Bikini is very feminine. You're still keeping that hourglass shape. You're not trying to really look too muscular. It's more of a toned,
Yeah.
which is something that's more my style. I don't get me wrong. I look at other people that have built to the size they have, and that is impressive. That takes some doing. But me personally, I just wouldn't want it on me.
And you're quite
Yeah,
tall as well, right? How tall are you?
5'9".
Oh, okay. Maybe when I saw you in the gym, you were wearing your high heels, because when I saw you, you were like, this is a machine. She's
those
taller
heels
than
were
Yeah, when I've
me.
got them on.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when I've got them on, I'm about 6'1" with
Yeah.
those
So
on.
I'm 6'1".
Yeah.
I was like, she's taller than me. I swear to God. I tried to stay away from you. And she's got a tripod as well. I'll stay way back. So what sort of what can you achieve with this competition? Is it more of are you doing it for yourself, mental thing, because of where you were at, or is it a financial gain?
Yeah, I think. Sorry,
Is there a financial gain?
there's no financial gain. There's massive financial loss. It costs thousands. I couldn't even tell you how much I've spent already.
Oh wow!
And I haven't even hit comp yet, so
What on
it's definitely
bikinis?
not just the bikinis alone. Are you looking at around about £400 for a nice one?
Jesus Christ!
Then you got your coaching.
There's no
just my
there.
chicken bill. My chicken bill is enough.
Yeah, and your Soreen bill.
It's expensive. Yeah, my Soreen bill's gone down though. I'm all right with that one. Yeah, it's an expensive hobby, I tell you. But no, it's more I set myself goals. So my goal to get from 20 stone was just to be skinny, and then I got to skinny, and I thought, well, what am I going to do now? And then obviously people had said that I looked like I had the physique for it, so I thought, right, well, I'll try that. So I'll go into it. If I do really, really well, then I'll go for pro status. I'll just keep going. If I go into it and I hate it, I'll find something else to obsess about.
But it's important
just
that
one to the
it's
next.
aware that you are in love with yourself now, in the right way. Sorry, but like what I'm saying, well, yeah, like for me. So I was very similar. So 2 years ago, I had back surgery, and I gained so much weight. I think I was about 18 and a half, and then I met Mike, and I dropped down to 15-ish, whilst trying to gain muscle. And then now, like, yeah, you got to love yourself, right? You have to love yourself. Otherwise, what are you doing it for?
You do, but then in the same sense, you can't get complacent, because that's when you go back the other way.
Yeah, it's like,
So
yeah, like
you love yourself enough, but you're never fully. Yeah. I think actually I'm probably more self-conscious of myself now than I was when I was big.
Is it because of the
Because I'm
competition?
looking. No. Even before that, you obsess about every line, every bit of cellulite. You're looking at your body every single day.
Yeah.
Whereas
I do
beforehand, I didn't
agree.
care.
There's been a few times in our PT sessions, hasn't there, Mike, where I'm like, I'm definitely losing muscle. And sometimes it's just what you're wearing, especially for me.
Yeah.
Like, the days that I go in wearing a vest, like, I can't keep my eyes off myself. But then the days I'm wearing a t-shirt, the days where I'm wearing a t-shirt, I'm like, I'm such a fat prick. It literally is such a roundabout, yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. If I wear the wrong colour to the gym, I think, well, where did my muscle go? The colour contrast of the walls.
Yeah, it just blend in with the.
It's body dysmorphia. Honestly, it's. I don't think anyone trains regularly and doesn't end up with a form of it.
100% agree with you. What I do now is I do look back at photos of myself and just appreciate it more.
Yeah, I think you need to. Yeah, you
I think it's amazing that
and I think
everyone
sometimes
goes on that same journey though. Like everyone will start off with X goal. Like for a lot of people, it's I want to lose weight. They'll lose weight and then they'll go, oh, hang on a second, I can do a little something here. They build a little bit of muscle, and suddenly it's like, okay, this is addictive. I can really start to build here.
Yeah, 100%. You see something and then you think, oh, more of that.
The thing is, the muscle building as well that helps you lose weight. That's the weird thing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, your daily calorie burn is just there, isn't it? You don't have to do much, and like now, I've not been doing great with my eating for the last 3 weeks. I haven't gained a pound, but
You're
then
such
my
a
body's.
I've had my birthday recently, and I'm still going to the gym 5 days a week, and I've gained half a stone. It's the Toblerone, man. Stay away from them.
Get on the Soreen and you'll be all right.
What was that, Mike?
The man's out here doing eating challenges and all sorts. Like, don't feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
You're doing eating challenges.
Well, no, not on the daily. On my birthday, all I wanted was chicken wings. So my wife was like, "Oh, just round the corner, they're doing 60. You got to eat 60 wings in 19 minutes." I was like, "That's doable, surely." So she booked me in. I was like, "That's pretty doable." I made the mistake of asking for chili sauce on all the wings, so I only got 40 wings down. But it's obviously still 40 wings. I went feral. Yeah. I went proper feral. Like sauce everywhere. I would not recommend sauce with a beard, especially in front of your 2-year-old son. He must have had nightmares that night. Like just seeing his father just go feral with some chicken wings. Jesus. But I do eat a lot. I won't lie. The thing is, like,
if I eat, I'm the same.
Yeah. But then I'll stick to how I manage it is I do like every other month I do a challenge where I'll just stick to 2,000 calories a day for a month, and then the following month I will just like enjoy myself a little bit more.
Go the opposite way.
It is hard, yeah. Like if I'm eating. Like I had a whole massive Toblerone the other day, which is easily God knows what 6,000 calories or something stupid.
I would never look. If I'd committed to a whole Toblerone, there's no way I'm making myself feel guilty.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Until afterwards.
The thing is, all you're doing there really is you're microcycling higher calories with lower calories. In essence, if you were to extend those periods of time, that's a bulk and a cut. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. If it works, it works.
In that case, I'll be right back. I'm just going to get some Toblerone. I'm joking. I've still got loads. Like everyone just buys me chocolate for my birthday. It's just so annoying.
Everyone's whinging at me that they can't. They're like, "What do we even buy you now? You can't have anything."
What do you ask for? Yeah. Do you go? Well, actually, I need some more. I need some new bras. So you might as well give me some new bras.
I need new bras now. No, I don't really like getting presents. I like buying presents, but I'm not really one that.
Yeah, I saw. Like, I'm not a stalker, but you do post a lot on Instagram, and I saw that you bought. I think your kids the new Oculus. And I was like, Jesus Christ, her kids are spoiled. Sorry, am I on loudspeaker? Apologies. I thought
That's
you had
right.
headphones
No,
in.
the door's closed. You're all right.
Okay. Anyway, Santa's
no.
real. Carry on.
So this is Father Scrooge ruining Christmas.
Yeah, no. One of them had asked for an iPad, and the other one had asked for a PlayStation 5. I couldn't warrant the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, middleman it, and just get one of they can have one of them each, because that worked out the same price as just the PlayStation 5. So, well, a little
I think
tiny
you've
little
done
bit
the right
more.
thing
But...
there. You've definitely done the right thing. Especially at their age.
To be honest, yeah. Thing is, I could buy them a load of stuff, and it would just be strewn around the house, and they'll never get used. Or I can buy one expensive thing and a couple of bits to go with it. At least I know it was worth it. That will be
100%.
worth it.
Was you much of a gamer? Are you much of a gamer yourself?
No, I don't watch telly. I will be with that.
Could you just imagine having a VR headset when you were like 9 years old? Like my mind would have been blown.
I was one of 6. I was lucky if I got 20p to go to the shop.
Oh wow!
Never.
One of 6.
Wouldn't have dreamed of it. Yeah,
That's a lot
compared to my upbringing.
What are your siblings like? Are they similar to you? Are they quite gym sort of goers?
Yeah. So one was my brother Stephen. He honestly, that boy builds. He's built like a rugby player in general anyway. But he did used to train. He's kind of come away from it. He's had his little girl and that. But no, we were a good mix. I'd say sporty wise, it would only be me and one other. But the rest of them don't.
And he supported you throughout it, I guess.
He's come to train with me a couple of times. He came over to Snaps with me, and I made him pass out.
Jesus, it's crazy how so he's a good example as to like how becoming a parent during that journey does impact it slightly. Whereas you've kind of had a cheat code almost. You've kind of it's tough, obviously, but you've kind of waited until they're old enough to sort of like chuck them in the corner whilst you work out, sort of thing.
No, I've to be fair, it's just panned out lovely. I tried to join the gym, I would say, every single year since the kids were born. And when I first started at Snaps, I fully intended to quit after a week, which is what I've done for years and years and years. I've yo-yoed and tried to do things, and I've paid a year's membership and done a week. That's the average.
Wow.
It just stuck this time for some reason. I don't know why. But I had quite a traumatic year.
There must be you must have thought about what's triggered that. What has changed?
That year, my landlord sold my house from underneath me during COVID. I'd had a toxic relationship where he'd cut the fuel lines on my car. I then went to rent another house. I was meant to move in on the Friday, and on the Wednesday it was pulled from the market, so I was homeless with the kids. And I ended up sleeping on my dad's settee, going to work in the morning, where I found out my fuel lines had been cut. Broke down in the middle of a junction and sat in my tunics and cried.
Jesus Christ.
Honestly,
it's nice that you can laugh at that now, but that's mental.
Do you know when you have them periods of life where you think if something could go wrong, it definitely will? I had a year of it. It was horrible. It was so bad. But that was the breaking point. And then about a week later, that's when I started at the gym. So it would have been the November of...
So I was waiting for you to say that you were living at Snap Fitness, because that would have made sense.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Have you seen the state of how they leave out there sometimes? No, that I'd say traumatic year was my breaking point.
So do you use it as like a meditation then, almost like a mental health?
Yeah, I put my headphones in. I don't deal well out of structure now. I needed some structure because my life was falling apart.
That makes sense, really, because that's the aspect that you can control then, you know? So it's kind of like you're taking something back from it, you know? It's good.
Yeah, at least I could deal with that. So it worked out. It worked out in my favour. I always say everything happens for a reason, and that year was meant to happen to push me to do this. It was meant to happen. It weren't nice at the time, but it did what it did. So I wouldn't change it.
And you're only 29. It sounds like I'm not that much older than you, but you're only 29. Like the potential that you have as well, that's amazing.
What, in the sport?
Yeah, just yourself and like your kids at that age. Like, I'm stuck
Yeah,
with a 2-year-old and we're thinking about having another one. I'm like, fuck that.
I don't want to go back to that.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm not. If we have another one, then that's another 3 years of changing nappies. Like, well, fuck that shit. Well, obviously, we're gonna have
you get to a certain point.
Yeah.
I'm saying that,
oh,
this is on the internet for people to go back and see in like 18 years' time, man. You know?
Oh yeah, my kids will probably watch this and be
They'll
like,
know.
"Did you love us, Daddy?" No.
I've only said nice things about mine, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'll just buy them an Oculus and they can. I'm just joking.
I'll tell you how well it works.
But it's amazing. Like, it's quite. Was it planned? Can I ask? Sorry, was it planned when you were younger?
What, my kids? Yeah. No.
It's the best way, then, isn't it?
Bethany was. I'd gone to have a tooth taken out, and they didn't tell me that anesthetic wipes your contraceptive pill.
Oh wow!
I knew some antibiotics did, but I didn't know that did. So that's where Bethany came from. And Alfie, I had really, really bad polycystic ovaries and endometriosis. And they scanned me and told me that I would never be able to have kids again. To then find out I was actually already pregnant with Alfie.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, but I did my 2 years ago. That's another thing that's come from training. Actually, 2 years ago, I was told that my cysts were so bad in my ovaries that they were closed. I was infertile, and I went for a scan 3 months ago to find that I don't have a single cyst on my ovaries now.
I thought you were going to say you're pregnant. I'd have
No,
been like,
no,
oh my
no.
god.
I would not be smiling.
Imagine competing in this competition pregnant. That would be an achievement in itself.
Wouldn't be ideal, would it?
Wouldn't be ideal, really. But
no, they've said because of the lifestyle I've been living for the last 2 years, I've actually reversed my polycystic ovaries.
They're like, actually, you're now immortal, so like, you will live forever, but that's fine. It's amazing though what just the gym can achieve. I'm the same. Like, I've got I don't know what you call it, but basically I suffer from acid reflux quite heavily. Like a hernia sort of thing. But the gym, I think it's more like the gym sort of promotes a healthy living anyway, right? So you end up on less Soreens or whatever you're eating. And then you just naturally just get better with stuff. So I've not had acid reflux for absolutely ages. No. And that was a pain in the arse, that was.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realise, obviously, there are medications for certain things. If they just did a different lifestyle, they'd find they didn't need half of those medications.
Exactly.
They're a band-aid. They're not a fix.
And a lot of it's intolerances as well, right?
Yeah.
Have you had tests done yourself, so you make sure that you're on the right diet?
No, but then I think I'd probably know by now, wouldn't I?
Yeah. Probably would.
Been eating the same food for the last year, so I think
that's really important. I think, like, if something like I have chili every day because I know it doesn't impact me.
How do you deal with that, eating the same foods every day, aside from what we've already discussed multiple times? But like, are you okay, or do you need variety throughout your week and day to day?
No, I'm quite a creature of habit. As long as I'm not hungry, I don't mind that I have. Like, I quite happily will sit there and the kids have got a McDonald's and I've got rice cakes. It doesn't bother me as long as I'm not hungry at the end of it. But I do play around with a lot of seasonings and different things. You can make a meal something completely different just by changing your carb source or the seasoning you've used.
Yeah.
So it depends how inventive you want to be. It is easily done if you can be bothered, but 9 times out of 10 I'll eat the same thing and I won't even think. I'm just eating it.
Did you get cravings?
Recently, because I'm not training.
Okay.
Because my whole routine is off. Yes, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
But in general, no, I wouldn't miss a beat.
That's amazing.
But then I think I set a goal in my head and I don't like losing.
How does it work with your work shift patterns? Does that impact?
So I have put both my clinics to run on just 2 days a week. So I used to work short shifts, but 5 days of the week. So now I only work on 2 days of the week, and I'll work a long shift, so 8 till 7.
Oh, nice. So
and that gets it done and out of the way. So then they're my rest days. That's the way that works. So yeah, as long as I'm prepped with my food, I can take gaps in my clinic for my food. Yeah, it all works in my favour, really. I'm pretty.
Yeah, I'm pretty
But that's
guilty of
exactly it.
like eating
What you're
during the
talking about
TV.
there, it's
Sorry,
like
Mike.
Sorry.
it's what you're talking about there. You're when people talk about, oh, I don't have the time to eat, I don't have this and this and this. Well, you've changed your work patterns to fit this. Okay, most people can't do that. What's the next thing
No.
to do? You prep your food to take with you so that you stay on diet. People want the
Yeah.
results, but unless
But they don't
people
do the
are willing to
work.
sink the time and stick to the diet and stick to the plan, like everyone can do this to a certain
Yeah.
extent. You just have to sink into it. Like you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You have to just
No.
you're in or you're out. That's it.
You jump in. Yeah, you're 100% either one way or the other. You can't do it half-assed because you won't get the results, and then you'll kind of be put down by it, and then you'll think, oh, it doesn't work. No, you haven't done it 100%. Otherwise, it would have worked.
Especially when you're where you are, because like if you're quite a big person, it's quite easy to lose weight in a way. All you got to do is go to the gym. You haven't really got to change your diet. But when you're quite lean and you're going to the gym every single day for 5 days a week, you hit a point, don't you? I think I've hit that point.
You plateau.
Yeah, and you just have to then focus on your nutrition a lot more.
It's crazy how much the diet side of it is. I would say it is 70% diet, 30% training. Yeah. I would say the diet is 100%, like even down to when I got really lean.
Oh, have we lost Georgie?
I think so.
Oh no, we've lost Georgie, guys. Your nose is running heavily, isn't it?
Oh man, it's terrible. It's really, really bad.
You might as well just stick two tissues up there.
I was considering. I'm not gonna lie. I was muting my microphone just to try and stop it from becoming obvious.
Oh, perfect.
Ah.
What happened there?
Overheated.
Oh wow.
That's
how hot you are, Georgie. Your phone's melting. I'm not flirting, by the way. I'm not a married man. Let's just make that clear. I want to ask two more questions. My main one, after us basically knowing your whole life story now, was if you could go back in time. No, it's perfect. If you could go back in time at a certain time in your life and give yourself some advice, would you, and what would it be?
I don't think I would change anything. I'm so happy with where my life is now, and it wouldn't be what it is if I hadn't have done everything the way I've done it. There is literally nothing. I think everything shapes you, every single thing, even when things go wrong, that shapes you into the person you are and the lifestyle you've got and what you've achieved. And I think it's all lessons, and I needed to learn them.
That's awesome way to look at it,
yeah. Good answer.
That is a really good answer.
Did I pass?
No, you're not. Yeah, you got the job. I don't know what job yet, but you got it. Mike, have you got a final question? To be fair, we've got the normal question we ask everyone, but have you got?
I mean, I could really go into a deep dive in terms of like the actual competitive.
We've had it for 40 minutes now. But she's got kids. She's got Soreens to eat, Mike.
I have got a little bit more time if you need. I'm not worried. My phone's not overheated now.
Somewhat relative to the time of the year. What's your Christmas routine?
My Christmas routine?
Yeah.
So I'm obviously one of 6. So there's generally
a lot of food on the table.
There's generally about 20 of us that are trying to shift. So I will start in the morning with the kids here by myself.
Yeah.
And then I will go to my dad's for dinner, where my brothers will be, his girlfriend and a friend of his and things like that. And then we all go to my mum's as well. So that's where the madness happens, and you can't actually think straight. But for the last few years, the kids were going around their dad's. This year they've decided they don't want to. So this will be the first year I've got them all day. Normally they're gone at 2. So normally I go and train Christmas Day, simply just to boil down.
Of course you do.
It's more just for peace of mind. I get a bit my social battery drains quite quick. And in an environment where everyone's moving and talking and
even though it's family, it's quite exhausting.
God. All the family. So yeah, it's lovely, but I do go and break and go to the gym for an hour or 2 Christmas Day normally, but I won't this year.
I don't think you'll be able to, will you?
No, I'm not allowed. Maybe a bit of cardio.
Yeah.
And go on a stepper for half
I was
hour.
contemplating it myself, and I'm like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy. I don't know. Like it's gonna be empty.
Definitely not.
Like
it's the best.
Yeah. Like I go. Sometimes I go 5 a.m. on a Sunday, and it is empty, and it is really nice just to like.
That's lovely.
Have any machine.
I think you'd be surprised on Christmas Day. Honestly, there will be people in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Last year when I went, I think there must not a hell of a lot. I would say there was a good 10 to 15 people, maybe.
Do you feel like you have to like acknowledge them because they're there as well? Like Merry Christmas. Like,
no. I don't do that on a busy day. I do this.
Yeah, I'm the same. I hate it when people try and talk to me.
I don't mind, but it's when you're calling down in between sets and then you're like, right, I need to get on with this because otherwise it's going to ruin my whole thing.
Or in the middle of a set. That's what I find annoying.
Oh, I hate that. I cannot stand that. It's a proper pet.
And normally it's when you're using half the cable machine. I'm like, just wait for me to finish and then ask me whether I'm using it. And I'm obviously not using it because I'm doing my tries. Like, what is
I never understand that. Are you using this? And you're doing like this. And they're like, definitely not.
Yeah, I'm doing my legs at the same time. Yeah, of course.
The worst one I've had, I was mid deadlift. I had someone coming up asking me questions about memberships. I'm like, dude, leave me alone.
No.
How do they know you work there?
Well, I don't know.
I think everyone knows.
At some point. Yeah.
I can leave you alone go anymore. Do you still get asked even though you don't work there anymore?
Yeah, and I promptly ignore them.
Do you not work there anymore?
No.
Oh. It's going to be a whole change around by the time I go in there.
Yeah, I suppose you've not really been in there to see all this.
I find that really weird as well. Like, I've never been to a point in my life where I'm going to the gym so much where it's weird seeing a new face.
I'm like, who are you?
You don't belong here. Go away.
Yeah.
No wonder why you get that. Like when I'm not sure if you probably remember, both of you, but when you went to the gym for the first time, you just didn't feel comfortable because people were looking at you.
I walked in with my head down like this, really fast. I did that for about a year.
The thing is, that is the hardest point. Despite having really tough days at the gym, the hardest point is definitely the first week of going to the gym for the first time.
It's disgusting.
And it's because we've been going for so long, it's amazing when you see these people lose so much weight. Yeah,
it is. You see people in there and you're watching their journey. Like you literally see them changing week by week.
Because of who I am, I just want to go up to them and go, well done, you've done amazing. But that's really weird.
I do.
Do you? You can get away with that. You're the Terminator. I can't go in there. Like, who's this beard, bald guy? What's going on here?
Everyone appreciates a compliment. Yeah. Honestly, everyone. And that's what I was saying about gym community is no one makes you feel stupid for what you're doing in there. You think they're going to, but everyone's rooting for you. Oh, well, there might be the odd 10% maybe that aren't. But in general, you can approach anyone about anything and they'll take the time to talk to you as long as they're not mid-set.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know whether it's just like a time thing. Like, what times do you normally go to the gym?
Normally about 9.
I think it is a time thing because when I go, you have like little cliques of people. But
do you go in the evenings?
No, I go first thing in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning.
So that is a bit more clicky. I while the kids were off on the 6 weeks holidays, I was going that time, and that is a bit of an odd time actually.
It is, yeah. And if you're not in that clique, it's like
you know why though? Everyone's woke up and they can't be bothered to make new relationships.
Yeah, I'm exactly that. The thing is, I'm exactly that. No matter what time it is in the day, anyway. Like,
no, but
if I wasn't married, I would just be one hell of a hermit. Jesus Christ.
No.
Right, and
that's an odd time.
Have you got any more questions before we ask the final one?
No, you go ahead.
I think the final one we've almost touched base on, but it is we ask everyone this, which is, do you have a morning routine and do you have an evening routine, and if so, what does that look like?
So morning routine, I get up at 5:30 so that I've got time to eat my oats and things because I can't train as soon as I've eaten. So I'll do that and then I'll get the kids up, take them to school, go straight to the gym. So that's morning set. Evening, I spend about 3 hours in the kitchen.
Well, cooking?
Because I've got to cook the kids' dinners, my dinner, prep for the next day. If I've been shopping and I've bought my chicken trays, I'm cutting that up and weighing it out and putting it in bags in the freezers. So I can spend a good 2 to 3 hours an evening cooking
Wow.
or prepping or doing something. But it just makes my day flow the next day.
Yeah. Are your kids quite picky? Do they eat the same meals, or do you have to make...
So my son will eat what I'm eating on prep. Like, he loves anything. He's a homemade child. Like, he likes all homemade food. My daughter, unless it's beige and come out of an oven, she isn't eating it.
Oh, wow.
So it's I'm generally doing 3 dinners an evening. So I'll do mine, and they both have separate dinners as well. And then I'll be doing the food for the day after for me.
That's a lot of time in the kitchen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Music on, I guess, surely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I don't do anything without music.
Do you listen to podcasts?
No, I don't actually.
That's a no.
No.
I'm going to edit that so it says, yeah, listen to this one. This one's actually really good.
This one's great.
Yeah, not listen to a single episode, but I won't be listening back to this one, though, because I'm on it. And I'm joking.
I won't.
No.
I won't. I'll cringe.
It is so easy. Yeah, you just don't. I can't listen to a single episode. I have to, because I edit it, and I'm just there like for 2 hours editing. Like, what is this voice? How do I mute this bald guy?
I've only just started sending voice notes because I don't like the sound of my voice when it's recorded. It sounds way deeper.
Don't start voice notes. Fucking hate voice notes. Have we touched base on this yet, Mike? I don't think we have yet on our podcast.
We might have done the PT session. I kind of lose track. But a voice note to me is like, you can send a voice note, but then I'm taking your time from you because you have to listen to it. A text, I can read at my leisure.
Yeah, this is true.
A voice note, you got kids as well.
Your time.
You don't know what's going to...
You never know what's going to be said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I forget as well. Like, if someone sends me like a 2-minute voice note, I'll listen to it all, and then I end up going to reply to it, and I can reply to the first bit of the voice note, but by the time I've got to your second point, I've forgot. So my voice note is generally me replying and then going, hang on a minute, I'm going to listen to your voice note so I know what to say.
Yeah. At what point?
I have to go listen to it again.
At what point does a voice note become a podcast at this point? Like, that's a mental amount of time. It should just be, if you're going to send a voice note, it should just be, yes, thanks. Because you're driving or something.
Even then you can just send a text.
Well, no, because you're driving. I don't know yet. I know what you mean. But, like,
when you're driving, is that going to be included?
No, but you can say, hang on. Hands free. You can send text messages now, can't you? And you can send voice notes when you're driving. Well, in my car, you can anyway.
The button and click on the chat.
With Apple CarPlay, that's what I meant. But yeah. God, I'm in trouble. How do I edit this bit out? Mike used to be a police officer as well, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I've received like a 4.5-minute voice note before. I've just sent a message back saying, I'm not listening to that. Send me a message. It's not happening.
I've only just started sending them back, and it's only because people send them to me, and I think, well, I'm not writing a paragraph back to that, because you've just said about 80 things in that voice note, and I have not got time to type it.
I just refuse to listen to them. No one sends me voice notes now. I'm just
should I join your gang?
You have to go on strike. Like, no. It's a phone call or it's a text message. You can't just... There's nothing in the middle of it. There shouldn't be anything in the middle of it. Like, if you're going to talk to me, call me. I don't know.
I just FaceTime now, to be honest. I just started FaceTiming.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I do. I respect FaceTiming. Just because my family are like 100 miles away, so it's nice to do the odd FaceTime.
It's nice. Yeah, it gives you that little element, doesn't it? The only thing is, half the time I'm down here, so the the view's just me. Like, not ideal.
But there's a lot of people out there that hate FaceTime as well.
I never used to, actually. Yeah, FaceTime's a funny one.
So you can show off, or you can show off your pump. That's why you do it.
I just sit there. I don't have a pump these days, so I've got nothing to show off.
You stick the phone on the tripod, don't you? And then do the FaceTime.
That's what I've done now. That is what's on there.
That's what...
Yeah, I'm not holding it. I haven't got time.
Yeah, hang on. Nobody got time for that. Right, I think we're done. I've asked. I do have one question, but I wanted to ask it, but I didn't want you to take it the wrong way.
Okay.
Which is why do you think, or why do you post a lot of photos and videos of your journey?
So initially, it's like a diary. It was just I'm doing this, and it kept me accountable. And then I'd think, well, I've got to go to the gym today, because if I don't, I've got nothing to post. And then people will think that
that's when I met you. When I met you for the first time, it was, I've got to do today's video. I'm like, what's your OnlyFans? Like, do you know? I was thinking, what? Where is this going? Where is this going? I'm curious.
No, it kept me accountable because I was like, right, well, I've got to post on my story, so I've got to go to the gym.
Yeah, of course.
And then now I keep posting because obviously I'm changing so quickly month by month. I'm doing my posing. So there's a lot that's changing at the minute, and it's very, very easy for me to get in my head. And I can think I'm not doing much. And then I can look literally a couple of posts back and I think, Jesus, like that was completely different. So for me, it's just my dumping ground. And then I've got a few people that I speak to, mainly women actually, that have come from a similar sort of lifestyle as me, that find it helpful that I post. So it's helpful for them that
it
obviously
is
I've done
so
this
easily
journey.
inspiring. It really is.
Yeah, a lot of people do say. I can't see why, because ultimately anyone can go to the gym and do it.
It's your commitment and it's your discipline. That's what people are inspired by, and I'm quite guilty of it. I like like many people do, but I follow Dwayne Johnson because he is so consistent, and like he wouldn't be where he is now if he wasn't. But it is so inspiring, and then when you meet somebody like yourself who is like just around the corner at the gym and at your local gym and just living a normal life, it's like if they can do it, especially when you got 2 kids, you're a nurse. Like you're juggling a lot, and yet you're still prioritizing your body. So it just shows the only thing that matters really is what you prioritize in life.
Yeah, anyone can do it. Ultimately, anyone can do it. It's just how much you want it. It's short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. It depends on what one.
Once you've got that routine, it's quite easy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, once you're in it, they say it's is it 2 weeks to create a habit?
I know it's like 100 days, isn't it? I think
100 days. No, it's 2 weeks to create a habit.
Oh, for me, it's not. For me, 2 weeks. Yeah, the amount of times I've joined a gym for 2 weeks, and then it's like...
No, yeah, I'd say once something's part of your routine, you're not thinking about it. You're an autopilot. It's like you drive home from work. You're not thinking about doing it. You just do. So when people go to me, how do you do this and how do you do that? I think, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't, actually, because that's just my life.
And for you now, I suppose this is a good example where you're not training. It now feels weird and horrible for you not being able to train. I don't know what to do
with myself.
Whereas if you say that to yourself 2-3 years ago, you wouldn't understand what that means because you weren't in it. You weren't doing it at that point in time.
It's mindset. It is mindset, but you can apply the mindset and the discipline from the gym to so many other aspects of your life. So every aspect of my life has improved through the discipline that I've got from training. You can apply it in so many different ways, but you don't realize until you've opened your eyes to it. You don't understand when people are saying it until you've
set a standard in your life. You can't just then go like, I only set the same standard at the gym and then my whole life. But you can't just do that. That's mental.
Your way of thinking is different.
Yeah.
You're not as
lax.
You're not as impatient, I would say, as well. It's mental strength.
Yeah, I'm very impatient, to be fair. But I think it's because I've got a 2-year-old. I think
you got a 2-year-old. Yeah. No one's got patience when they got a 2-year-old.
That's been really good. Getting to know you, actually. I say catching up. And I feel like I know you now. No.
Yeah.
That's really good. But thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate your time.
No, thanks for asking me. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Give me something to do while I'm doing nothing.
It'd be good if you're not famous by then, but if you're after your competition, it'd be good catching up with you again and seeing how that went.
Yeah, no, that'd be nice.
Especially after the next. How many more weeks you got left of rest?
I've got 3 more weeks until I can go back and start legs.
Okay, wow. So it'd be interesting to see how you get back into that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I am nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Because so many people
those DOMs all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first return, I'm gonna be dropping on toilet seats, no doubt.
Never getting back up again.
Yeah, that's it. I'll live there now.
Yeah. Where's my Soreen? The amount of times I've said Soreen. If we're not sponsored by Soreen by the end of this year, I'll be so fucking pissed off.
I feel like I should have a sponsorship.
Yeah. Imagine turning up to the bikini thing, but you got like a little. Can you do that? Get paid with little sponsorships.
Yeah.
I feel like if I ever was going to get sponsored, it should be through.
It'd have to be a tattoo, though, wouldn't it? You couldn't really. There's very little clothes, isn't there?
I could sneak it in here.
Sneak it in there, yeah. With the different flavors, 2 for 1. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, Georgie. I appreciate it a
No,
lot.
thanks for having
Have a
me.
good weekend.
You too. See you later.
Good luck.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Right. That was Georgie/Georgina Lou. Thoughts?
So she's on Instagram. That's probably the best place to find her, I would say.
It is, yeah. Shall I just grab it? I was meant to note her Instagram. I need to find it now. It is Georgie, GEORGIE _Lou LOU 94, which I'm assuming is her, yes, her birthday.
Correct.
God, I feel old.
I'm older than you. Stop complaining.
I know. So you must feel fucking old.
My nose is just about held out throughout all of that. I haven't sneezed, so there you go.
Just melting away.
Good. Yeah.
I could see you, like, I was paying more attention to her, obviously, but I could just see you in the corner, like mopping up everything you possibly can.
I was half expecting just come back with just them clogged up, but yeah. Yes, very inspiring. Very inspiring.
Yeah.
And it's a prime example of, coming from that position and dedicating your time to something, learning. Like you said, like the first 2 years, she wasn't making a huge amount of progress. And then it's in the past year that she's really stepped it up.
Yeah, and then we'll catch up in a week's time. Are you free? Should we do another one before Christmas? Do a Christmas special?
Yeah, it should be fine. I think I can make that work. Yeah.
If we will, we will. I'm sure you'll be hopefully better by then.
I'm hoping it'll be gone by then, yeah. This is doing me in, so it needs to disappear. Yeah, so we're kind of starting the ball early, but then 1 a week in the new year.
Yeah, which is amazing. So we'll take a week off that Christmas week.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back to it on the 5th of Jan. Which
It's good to me.
Boom. We're going to do Christmas drinks next Friday?
Yeah, for sure. I might
Should we do a half-drunk episode special?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
See you guys next week. Go follow Georgie, and if you can, go follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram. I need to start remembering these Instagrams, don't I?
I'm bad for it.
What's that? Between sets podcast. It's as easy as that, and I forget. That's how bad I am at names.
Between sets podcast. Yeah, and it's something similar on YouTube as well.
Yeah, so I think it's the same thing. Follow us, and we will see you guys next week with our Christmas jumpers on. Mike,
I don't know if I have one, but I'll see what I can do.
You haven't got a Christmas jumper?
No.
Oh, mate, you're letting the side down.
I'll figure something out.
Go make one. Just get a plain jumper and just draw all over it. That's basically what a Christmas jumper is. Really. Right, see you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.